Good morning, children. We begin with Standard 4th English, Unit 5, poem Don't Be Afraid of the Dark by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author who has written many poems, and he is of the British times and still living in Missouri. So let us read one of his beautiful poems, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Don't be afraid of the dark, little one. The earth must rest when the day is done. The sun must be harsh, but moon never. And those stars will be shining forever and ever. The poet here tells everyone, especially the little ones, not to be afraid of the dark. Why? Because after every light there is darkness. So the earth, during the day when it is spreading its light, it says that it has become tired, so let the earth rest and the dark come. So the sun during the day is very harsh. We feel very hot during the sunlight and during the day. But at night, the moonlight is not as harsh as the sunlight. And the stars in the sky, they are always shining and twinkling throughout the day and even the night. Why don't we see the stars during the day? Because of the bright sunlight. And in the night, when it becomes dark, we can see those beautiful stars shining and twinkling. Be friends with the night. There is nothing to fear. Just let your thoughts travel to friends far and near. By day, it does seem that your troubles won't cease. But at night, late at night, the world is at peace. Here the poet is saying not to fear of the dark and to be the friends of night. And during the night we should think about our best friends and our relatives and our closed ones, and just think of them so that we do not feel scared of the night and of the dark. And during the day, the whole day we have so much work and we are always we have some troubles, we have some problems and tensions throughout the day. But at night, it is the time when we are free from all these troubles and tensions. So in the night, the whole world is at peace. Here are few new words. First one, afraid. Second, dark. Third, rest. Fourth, harsh. Fifth, forever. Sixth, troubles. Seventh, cease. Meanings. First, afraid, frightened. Second, dark, without light. Third, rest, stop working. Fourth, harsh, rough. Fifth, forever, for always. Sixth, troubles, problems. Seventh, cease, stop. Answer the following. Question 1. What is the poem about? Answer 1. The poem is about children's fear of darkness of the night and the way to overcome this fear. I repeat, the poem is about children's fear of darkness of the night and the way to overcome this fear. Question 2. What happens when the day is over? Answer 2. When the day is over, darkness spreads everywhere and the moon and the stars start shining in the sky. I repeat, when the day is over, darkness spreads everywhere, and the moon and the stars start shining in the sky. Question 3. What does the earth do when the day is over? Answer 3. The earth takes rest when the day is over. I repeat, the earth takes rest when the day is over. Question 4. What does the poet want us to do at night? Answer 4. The poet wants us to be friendly with the night and think about our friends and relatives. I repeat, the poet wants us to be friendly with the night and think about our friends and relatives. Now children, these are some of your textual exercises. One of them is let's talk. And your first question is, are you afraid of the dark? Why? Your answer 1 is yes. I am afraid of the dark because I cannot see anything and might fall down and get hurt. And I also get scared of the sounds that are heard in the night. I repeat, yes, I am afraid of the dark because I cannot see anything and might fall down and get hurt. And I also get scared of the sounds that are heard in the night. Question 2. What do you do when it is dark? Answer 2. When it is dark, I close my eyes, lie down on the bed, and dream about my friends. I repeat, when it is dark, I close my eyes, lie down on the bed, and dream about my friends. Question 3. Have you ever been frightened? Tell your partner about it. So this is some of your experience that you need to share, that when you were frightened in the dark. So here your answer is, yes, I got frightened many times. One day when I was sitting in my room and it was dark, only candlelight was there. Suddenly, due to air, the candlelight went off, and to my surprise, a figure ran out of my room. I was so scared. Then I found that it was my little kitten that ran out of the room. I repeat, yes, I got frightened many times. One day when I was sitting in my room and it was dark, only candlelight was there. Suddenly, due to air, the candlelight went off, and to my surprise, a figure ran out of my room. I was so scared. Then I found that it was my little kitten that ran out of the room. Question 4. What are the things that may happen if there is no sunlight? So here we just have to imagine that if there is no sun during the day and for many days, what would happen? So your answer is, if there is no sunlight, then there would be no day. There would be only night, and people would be sleeping all the time. The trees would not get sunlight to make their food. I repeat, if there is no sunlight, then there would be no day. There would be only night, and people would be sleeping all the time. The trees would not get sunlight to make their food. Say aloud. This too is your textual exercise. Your first question is, what is the word that starts with T, rhymes with C's, and means to playfully make fun of? So that word is tease. It starts with T. Second one, what is the word that starts with C, rhymes with near and fear, and means easy to see, hear, and understand? So that word is clear. It is rhyming with near and fear. Are these sentences true or false? Your first one. The poet tells the child to be afraid when it is dark. So what is it, children? Is it true? Is the poet telling us to be afraid in the dark? Correct. It is false. Your second one. The poet says that the stars will always shine at night. So is it true? We see only stars shining only at night. So it is true. Third one. The poet tells the child to think of friends after it is dark. So correct. He says that during the dark, in the night, not to be afraid of the dark and think about your friends and relatives, so that this fear of darkness goes away from you. So this statement is also true. So now let us write these answers. So your first one was, the poet tells the child to be afraid when it is dark. False. Second, the poet says that stars will always shine at night. True. The third one, the poet tells the child to think of friends after it is dark. It is true. Okay. Now let us start with some word building. Word building means we join two different words and we make a new word out of it. Means, for example, rain. Rain is a word, and fall, to girna, is also a word. So now when we join rain and fall together and we write it together like rain fall, so this rainfall becomes a new word. So now here there is, the first one is moon plus light. So now when we join moon plus light, means write it together, what will it become? Moonlight. So we have made a new word out of two words. One new word out of two words. Your second one, good plus night. So what will it become? Correct, good night. Third one, water plus fall. What will it become? Waterfall. Fourth one, break plus fast. It becomes breakfast. Fifth, day plus break. It becomes daybreak. Sixth, rain plus bow. It becomes rainbow. Very good. Now your next exercise. Find a word in the poem which is the opposite of. So we have to write the opposites of these words. Your first one is war. So what will be opposite of war? It is peace. Second, light. Opposite of light is dark. Next, enemies. Friends. Night, day. Gentle, harsh. Start, stop. So now here are your answers. Your word building, first one, moon plus light, will become moonlight. Second, good plus night, good night. Third, water plus fall, waterfall. Fourth, break plus fast, breakfast. Day plus break, daybreak. Rain plus bow, rainbow. And your opposites will be war, peace. Light, dark. Enemies, friends. Night, day. gentle, harsh, start, stop. Look at these words in the poem. Don't, won't. Here are their full forms. Don't becomes do not, and won't become will not. So here in don't, we've put an apostrophe and we've omitted the O in not. So when we need to write certain short forms, we need to remove the O in the not and we need to put an apostrophe there. And when we need to write the full form, we don't write the apostrophe and we add a O in that place. So now we need to write the full forms of the following words. Which words are they? Let's read. First, didn't. Second, shouldn't. Third, wouldn't. Fourth, couldn't. And fifth, mustn't. So now wherever there is an apostrophe, we will omit the apostrophe and we will add a not and separate that word and write it like this. The first one is didn't. We remove the apostrophe and write an O and write it as did not. Second is shouldn't. We remove the apostrophe, add an O and write it little separately and write it, and the pronunciation is should not. Third one, wouldn't. Would not. Remove the apostrophe, add an O. Fourth one, couldn't. It will become could not. And your fifth one, mustn't. Your full form will be must not. So these short forms mostly we use in the poems to give it a little rhyming tune. The red teacups are filled with a particular word. Fill in the yellow teacup with similar sounding words. Note the example given. So here you can see in the red teacup you can see two. The spelling is T-double-O. And in the yellow we've written the same sounding word, that is two. But the spelling is T-W-O. This is number 2. In 1, 2 like that, T-W-O, 2. So the pronunciation is the same, but the meaning of both the words are different. So these we call as homophones, where the sound and the pronunciation of the word is the same, but the meanings are different. So in this way we have to do this exercise. So now let's see the rest of the teacups. Your second one is one. O-N-E, one. And your similar sounding word in the yellow is one. That is also one, same sound. But W-O-N, one means to win, jeetna. The third one is deer, D-E-E-R, the animal, the name of animal, deer. And in the yellow teacup, we need to write D-E-A-R, deer. This deer is someone whom we like or we love. The fourth one is sun, S-O-N, sun. This sun is for which sun? Correct. Someone's, your child, son, a boy child. We say he's a son, my son. And in the yellow, the same sounding word is S-U-N, which is Suraj, sun. All the sounds are the same. But when we write it in the sentence, which spelling and which word we need to write, we need to understand the sentence and write. Now complete the following sentences choosing the right word. So how we have to choose the same sounding words, where we have to write which word, that we need to understand and write. So your first one is, the sum was dash difficult for the class to solve. Only dash students could do it. Now your word that you have to use here is to. both the sound is same, but where will you write TWO and where you have to write TOO? Your second one. There was only dash boy who dashed the prize. And your choice of the words is ONE1 and WON1. Now where you need to write ONE1 and WON. Third one. The golden dash was very dash to him. And the words are DEAR, dear, and DEER, dear. Fourth, Ramu's dash loved to play in the dash. And your words are SUN, son, SON, son. So now let us choose and fill in these blanks. Your first one, the sum was TOO, too difficult for the class to solve. Only 2 students could do it. Here will be TOO. Second, there was only ONE1 boy who won WON the prize. Third one, the golden deer, DEER, was very dear to him, DEAR. Fourth, Ramu's son, SON, loved to play in the SUN, sun. Read out the following phrases aloud and divide them into loud and softer sounds. Now, we hear many sounds around us. Some are very loud and some are very soft. And mostly we don't like to hear very loud sounds. So here are some phrases given to us. We need to read them and then divide them into two. The loud sounds and the softer sounds. So first let us see which phrases are given to us. Clapping hands, a worm moving, stamping feet, a bud blooming, a butterfly flying, a feather dropping, an ant walking, a car moving, the wind blowing, shh, whisper, tiptoe, a leaf falling. What is tiptoe? When we walk on our toes, when we don't want to make much sound while walking, we walk on our toes, so that is called tiptoes. So now let us divide these words, these phrases of the sounds into loud sounds and softer sounds. So according to you children, which would be the loud sounds? Can you quickly say? Right, clapping hands. Clapping hands, when we all clap our hands or even one person claps hands, it is quite a loud sound. Then a car moving is also a loud sound. And correct, stamping your feet. When we stamp, bang our feet on the ground, it makes a loud sound. So now let us write them into these blocks. So as we just discussed, let us write the loud sounds first. First will be clapping hands. Second, stamping feet. And your third one, a car moving. Okay, and the rest are all softer sounds. So your first one is a worm moving. Any small worm that you see, you don't even hear and you don't even know that it is around you because there is no sound. Second one, a bud blooming. Bud means kali, a flower bud. When it blooms, there is no sound. A butterfly flying, a feather dropping, an ant walking, the wind blowing. The wind blowing, sometimes the sound of the wind is heard, but it is not very loud. It's quite soft. Shh. When we say shh, that is also not a very loud sound. It is a soft sound. Whisper. Whisper, when we are talking very softly in each other's ears, we say we are whispering. That is also a not loud sound. Tiptoe. And last one is a leaf falling. So these all don't make a very loud sound, and they are all softer sounds. So dear children, I hope you have understood the poem and all the exercises which we have discussed in this poem. And now I request you, dear children, to write the poem once in your English notebook, and then the meanings and the question answers into your notebook in neat handwriting. And as I have said earlier, the textual exercises which has place in the text, you can do them in your textbook itself. So thank you and have a very nice day.